Hello everybody, me and Chester here, having a little sit down after I've just finished work. Actually, I should take this off so it's I'll just keep it that side so you can't actually see it. Hello everybody. Me and Chester here, just having a little sit down. I've just finished work. Thought I'd do a vlog because I haven't done one for ages, have I, Chester? I haven't done one for ages. It's pretty rainy and miserable outside, so I'm just here. Sitting with a dog with his nice little tent on. You've got a nice little tent, haven't you, darling? It's what I do at the end of the day for him. This is completely irrelevant, but I put his little tent over him like a little sofa fort thing. And by the time I get down in the morning, he's completely wrapped himself up like a cocoon in it. You can't see him, so you wouldn't know it. If you didn't know he was there, you wouldn't be able to see him. So it's irrelevant and pointless. But so I thought I'd better update you on what's going on because stuff's happening. Oh, I say stuff's happening. Stuff's happening in the sense that nothing is happening. That makes no sense whatsoever. What are you licking me for? It's like I haven't got anything on here that's gonna. Or maybe just after you're sitting funny. Look at the way he's sitting. It's like bent the wrong way around. So I'm struggling these past couple of weeks with some back issues, and I spoke to my doctor recently who suggested that I stop doing some of the extra stuff that I'm doing, i.e., the work mainly at One Stop, and I said, well. Will it be a problem if I carry on working there? Will my back issues get worse if I carry on? And she said possibly. So I've taken the decision today to not necessarily resign, but give my notice in at the shop and say, as much as I need some cash, I also need to listen to what my body is telling me, and my body is telling me stop doing it, quite literally. Because I'll give you a rundown on what happens. Oh, that is a horrendous face. You just gave me a right horrendous face, didn't you? You gave me a right horrendous face with your teeth hanging out. So I'll give you a rundown on what happens. So it used to be that I worked Friday and Saturday. Friday morning to Friday afternoon, so 6 till 2. And then Saturday I'd work 2 till 10. So 2 in the afternoon to 10 p.m. Now, the first time I did this, my back started to trouble me after about 4 hours, about 4.5 hours. It went from a very kind of like someone had stuck a knife in my back, like a very sharp, very stingy type of pain in the back of my ribs, kind of just next to the spine on my right side, kind of just below the shoulder blade. And it developed into a point where I could barely move, I could barely walk or lift anything up. And I just put it down to my body not being used to doing the work, because all the work was me standing and serving people in the shop and just doing stuff like that. So I put it down to just my body not working it out. And then the following day, I go back to work. So I start early, finish in the afternoon, have a rest as much as possible in the afternoon, evening, have a fairly deep, light sleep, and get up and do it all over again on a Saturday afternoon. It's a little bugger, isn't he? What are you playing with me for? Hey, you playing? I don't want to push him too far because he's in a very strange kind of weird mood. And it start all over again. So by about 4 hours in, all it would be is my back pain would start to kick in, and it was really, really painful and really uncomfortable. And I could sit down for 5 minutes and have a break. That's fine. But within 5 minutes of getting back up again, it starts all over again. And I'm thinking to myself, this just isn't working properly. Something is not right in what I'm doing, or how I'm standing, or how I'm bending over or whatever it is, something is not right. So I went to the doctor and she suggested that, I stretch and I do all the stuff that you would think your doctor would suggest, take painkillers. So I started taking painkillers. Now, when you start taking painkillers, it's supposed to stop this pain. Not necessarily before it kicks in, but it's supposed to numb or stop or whatever, reduce the pain somewhat. I went to work the next time, the next following week, and within 3 hours, the back pain was back. So I thought, okay, I'll take a painkiller. And the painkiller kind of numbed it for half an hour, and then it came back full force. It came back, in fact, if anything, it came back worse. So I'm thinking, this is not good at all. It's not good. So I did the next session next time, and I did the next session, and it got sooner and sooner. And at this point now, I've already just done. I did my fifth session. I did my fifth session not last week, the week before, and then I did my sixth session this last Thursday because I switched it up. I went down to 6 hours a shift instead of 8, and quite literally within 90 minutes of getting to work and starting work, my back was absolutely shocking. It was just absolutely awful. And it didn't matter about painkillers. Painkillers would numb the pain for half an hour. I shouldn't have to take painkillers. My back should be fine. And you would have thought my back would have been absolutely fine because I've lost so much weight. But maybe that's the reason why it isn't. That I've lost so much weight, and it's kind of trying to work out how it's supposed to work properly, and how it's supposed to deal with a little bit less weight. Because when you lose a lot of weight, your back is built, or your back is strengthened so much for carrying that weight. When you lose all that weight, you kind of overstresses itself, I think. I don't know anything about physiology. So, this might be complete bullshit, but it might be just overworking. It might be thinking, I've got to work hard. I've got to work hard to keep me on my feet. But in essence, it doesn't need to work hard anymore. Now, the only time I ever get this pain is if I've done a lot of walking and a lot of work. Say today, for instance, on the way home from work today, I'd already done 9,000 steps. I walked home, did a couple thousand more, and on the way home, my back started to hurt just like it does at the shop. But that's after 7 hours of work plus probably about 5 miles walking around. So I kind of expect that is what is going to happen. That is the way it is. My back shouldn't hurt after an hour and a half of doing what is considered just standing and slightly bending here and there. It might be that's what happens. The slightly bending is the way it is. So I'm going to go in tomorrow and hand my notice in. I've already talked to the manager saying that this is what I'm doing. I'm going to just go in and put it in paper or in writing or however form they want me to put it in. I think I'll probably have to work the last shift on Thursday and just soldier through it. Another reason why I'm also actually going to give this up is that it's not just the fact my back hurts. It doesn't go away after I finish work. It stays, and it affects my sleep, and it affects the next day. The following day, last week, I think it was Friday, luckily I didn't have to go into work, because if I'd had to go into work, I would have been absolutely awful to be around, because I woke up and I had a headache for a start, and I never wake up with a headache. In fact, over the past year, I haven't woke up with a headache once until last Friday. And then I proceeded to try and get up and move around, and I was stiff as hell. I was going to say stiff as a board. That's the wrong term to use, but I could barely move any of my body. I was in such pain from my back, as well as trying to move around and trying to get all sorted, that there was no possible way that I was going to be able to do any more work. I could never have worked that Friday. never, and probably couldn't have worked the Saturday afterwards because I just was in so much pain, and all I wanted to do was to go back to bed or to get up and do nothing. So, yeah. So that's that, unfortunately. So this kind of trial run of me having a third job is actually going to stop being a third job. I really wanted to. Talking about back hurts. I really wanted to try and stick to it, but I can't. I just physically I can't stick it out, and it doesn't help that I'm having to wait for the physio to come about because I don't really want to pay for it. So I may end up just paying for it and just trying to sort it out. And if my back gets better, then there's nothing stopping me from going and do it again. There isn't, absolutely none. So I'm gonna get physio. I'm gonna get my back sorted, or at least into a state where it's not hurting me within a 90 minutes of starting a very kind of light job. I don't know what my eye's doing. Anyway, that's it. It's been a pretty boring and one-sided conversation this, but I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments, please let me know. I'll answer them. I will. Sorry, chest just kind of like. Oh. I don't know what's wrong with you. Mum's back today, isn't she? Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's it. See you later. Bye.